YouTube's not showing me yet. Okay, there we go.
Right, so
It seems to look okay. It's a little bit blurry, but nothing too severe. We're only testing this out. We might need to adopt a 1080p output and actually run this from a 1080p monitor at some point. And that's negligible at the moment. I think it looks okay. I can read like the Max games. I can read the multi-stream. Yeah, okay. Right. So, what do you need to do? You need to log into ChatGPT and you need to open Unity. And I'm going to try and get us some viewers. So I shall be back. In fact, I think I actually set this up on the headset mic.
is it OpenAI? I got yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Oh, did I turn the light on to disturb you, Katie? Okay. There's another new Emacs games.
Is there?
Emacs dash games.
That's what,
And an
4 or
Emacs
5?
gaming. Yeah. That's why I chose the Reaper name. Because it's far less likely to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you can probably move to Streamlabs screen. To the Streamlabs thing on the other screen.
Do what?
I can see your Streamlabs actual the desktop. You can probably move that on your other screen.
Oh,
You'll only need that in this one, and you'll be able to keep your eye on chat in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right. So let's bring in your browser with ChatGPT on it, and we shall see if it's possible for two idiots to use this. Okay. Do you want to code a game like Sharky Bird, like Flappy Birds called Sharky Birds in Unity? Okay.
So what I'll need?
So you'll
Unity,
need Unity.
2D project. I'll create it now.
I think it gives you the steps just below that. Possibly.
So that's going straight
okay.
to creating the script.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Right, so let's do this now. Oh, I forgot how long this takes.
Have we checked audio's now to the stream?
It is, aye, because I had to turn it down because you were hearing it twice, didn't you?
Okay. Cool.
I'm assuming this can generate the sprites, etc. for us as well.
It probably could, but what we're actually maybe better doing is asking it to grab something from the Unity asset store from the free section.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far.
Effect.
Yeah.
A fart cloud when the bird jumps.
That's a great idea. But at this point, we're just trying to see what is or isn't possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's insane that you've got such a ball crushing machine and yet it still takes you just to open Unity. I wonder if Unreal Engine is slow as well. Something I did find out though, you've got your scene and your game at the top. Apparently you can split them apart so you can see both of them at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yep. Which might be useful. I don't know. I think you just drag that down. Yeah. And then you drag it to the side of whatever one, because you're going to be wanting. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I think that's kind of useful. Right. So let's see what ChatGPT is telling us. Can they make coders out of us 2 idiots?
So I think it was starting off with for the player movement, a Sharpybird script. So create a C# script called Sharpybird. Right.
I'm sure it's going to missteps and we're going to have to correct it, but again, that's kind of the point of what we're doing. Well, we're going to see if it really is a case of we're able to replace developers with code.
See, this is where, because I've not coded in fucking ages.
Scripting. Down, up. To T-shirt script.
Sharpybird. Was this just a basic copy and paste job?
It is till we find faults. Control V. Okay. So it's using the mouse button. So this isn't really going to be a mobile game, right? But that doesn't mean that we can't.
I'm assuming you just ask ChatGPT to convert it to a mobile build.
Mm-hmm. So we should probably do that just now, actually, because it's going to change the code right away.
Yeah.
There's about a 30-second delay in the stream. I actually thought YouTube was, 30 seconds is nothing in reality, but I actually thought it was closer to live.
I think you can change it.
Possible. Tapping does it. Small plates, version text. Okay. Okay. Ask it to find the required assets in the Unity asset store. That are free.
Full set of bird sprites and audio you can directly plug into Uni.
I did not know that Flappy Bird was open.
Source.
Sprites were open, that's it, yeah.
Ideal for customising into Sharty Bird.
A full Flappy Bird project with source code and assets. I think there'd be a licensing issue if we just body shop. Whereas if we work with the pixel art, if the pixel art is free, sprites and sound under MIT license, you can directly plug it in.
Just wait till I hang me up. GitHub, man. So, how do I download that though?
How do you download?
Those assets?
So it's interesting that we asked it to get it from the asset store in Unity, and yet it directed us to GitHub.
Aye.
So the first one, the name of the repo is there.
So I found
So
that.
it's Samuel Cast. There should be usually there's a download zip file or something there.
Download zip, there we go. Itch.io as well. We'll go with this one first. Right.
Again, we're not going to completely body shop the entire game. We're looking to change it. Like, I like the idea of the fart trails. Also like the idea that maybe like every time you fail, potential bird crap appears on your sprite.
Aye.
You know, something to like kind of inject a bit of humour into it, because I personally think that Flappy Birds was a pointless game that had no redeeming features and was boring as shit, and yet, you know, the developer actually stopped developing it because he was making more money and they could spend something ridiculous at one point. I'm sure like 25 grand a day.
Aye. Right. So I don't need this anymore. Because that was for the
original
mouse and keyboard one. Aye. Right, so. off.
Was that a .NET SDK error popped up?
Hmm?
I thought I seen a .NET SDK error popping up there. Yeah. Don't know what the heck that is.
Get it anyway, just so there's no. Oh, I need to fucking sign in, man.
So this would be another benefit if we had Microsoft accounts set up as well
Oh, there we go.
as Google. So we'd still keep everything running on Google Workspaces, but with the actual accounts we'd sign into the machines with, we would sign in with Microsoft accounts, and that would do VPN and stuff in the background, for example, for dialing back to Amax Games' server. I actually considered there's little routers called GL iNet routers, like 2-port things, and you can set them up in a VPN. And I thought it'd be cool to have a separate network card connected to one of them, and then that dials back into Max Games' server. So it's like a physical piece of hardware. Like even if you knew the access, you're getting nowhere with that physical piece of hardware. I mean, it would add about an extra £100 ish to every user that we had to connect to it. But in theory, I mean, Stephen doesn't seem to be interested in joining us.
No.
So for the time being, it would basically just be you that would need one. Because if a server was here, I'd just hardwire it on a VLAN on my own network. It's quite funny, you know, we were, a few months back, we were looking at places in Portugal and comparing the fact that like €1,000,000 gets you a mansion over there. Whereas the equivalent over here would be like 13 million. Don't know how I managed to do it, but I must have put in a wrong search term when I've been house hunting recently and seen some mansions, and I was just sitting going, wow. Well, in the UK, to be fair, in fact, within 10 miles of me. But it's like, you know, the way it was completely worded. There was a 13 bedroom, 15 bathroom main house. It had a separate set of stables for just 14 horses. It had staff quarters, and I think it was 6 rental properties, or 6 rooms that, you know, like hotel type rooms, available. And I was just like, you're not buying a house at that point, you're buying a business.
The fuck is this then, man?
Taking its time by the looks of it.
It's not started. I wonder if it needs me to sign in before it'll begin downloading.
Definitely seems to be having an issue with it.
Yeah.
This is why you never do things live. And I think in reality, at some point, if this is going to be a major part of our day to day, we probably should have an office somewhere or like a room where everything's pre-set up.
Aye.
The equipment, everything's just set up for us to go in and go, so that we don't get into situations like it's moving now. Oh, I think the stream just died. No, it's back. That was interesting. The screen just went black across all of my devices. Oh, I bet your user account control kicked in or something.
I think that was what it was. Aye.
UAC will kicked in. Seen something the other day that had me laughing. It was things that irritate people. And it was people who say FAQ when they mean facts. And I was like, no, FAQ is the correct one.
Aye.
Facts is not. But it's like the usual, people just trying to clickbait for attention because attention gets eyeballs.
So what's that actually done?
I think it's just updated the .NET framework somewhere.
Right. Create a new C# and attach it to your bird game object.
So we don't have a bird game object yet.
Yeah.
So that's where the sprites would come in.
Yeah.
So if we downloaded that sprites pack, we'll need to see if we can export it into the same folder.
I've got that, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I also thought it'd be quite funny, like I spoke about our other game that we were working on, like the maniacal laugh when you lose. I think that should be a thing we do in all our games.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just change the tone or the way, but I'll get you to record some as well. I also thought about us trying to record like ouches or ow, pain, kind of things. Because I think at the end of the day, another way to give back to the community and try and get our name out there would be to actually release any of the sound effects we require as a game pack,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially either have them free where they link back to our website, or have like a small amount, like a $5, look at just effectively a donation for a system with it. We'll maybe have 100 different sound effects in a pack, and we'll try and split it up between maniacal laughs or cheers or whatever. And that way we can maybe even get Stephen to give us a hand. As his varying degrees of sobriety or lack thereof kick in.
Can't add, what's that say? Can't add script behavior per controller. The script needs to derive from mono behavior.
I have no idea what that is. Fantastic. So far, I'm not sold on the fact that ChatGPT is going to replace devs.
No.
Because we've been doing this for what, half an hour or so. And we're not really getting very far.
So let's just do that.
So I wonder if this could actually be a series that we do, like we basically pick something separately. You know, you pick something to work on and I pick something to work on, and then we just tag in and out of the streaming.
Aye.
That way that if you're working or something or I'm working, it doesn't really interfere with the other person continuing the project. Because I think that's what Slow does now.
Mm-hmm.
You're working night shift and don't really get days off regularly together. And I'm working day shift plus evenings. I did actually, when I was sitting thinking about this earlier on today before we started discussing it, I thought it'd be quite funny. Like everybody in Flappy Birds, all previous games, you're going to the right, clockwise. It'd be funny to screw with people and just make it go to the left. Or then wait till people complain about it and then actually create a clockwise and anti-clockwise version of the same game. So republish the same game twice.
I can't see why that should not be working.
Okay. Why don't we try a reset? I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
So just give me a moment, and then I'll take over. Well, we'll need to swap anyway because you'll be streaming the key, and I'll need to grab a different key anyway. Yeah. So give me a moment. Just going to move this one to another morning. We'll try and set up, make sure everything's fine. So I've got everything I need in front of me, so hopefully we can manage this. But again, it just shows you that it's not.
It's not
Well, AI might get there. It's not at that point yet.
Aye.
Because we were joking about how easy this would be. I didn't think it would be easy. I didn't think we'd fail so quickly, right enough. But that's not on us. At least I don't think it is.
I think this might be assuming that there's already like certain things.
Yes. I think it thinks you've already got the assets and stuff, and you're just trying to assemble it, whereas we're not looking for that. We're looking for it to help us with it in an idiot-proof kind of way to do things. So, what is unique hub shows a random icon now? Yeah, we'll jump across to mine in a moment, and we shall see.
So see, I've put in, changed the question and add from scratch to the start of it, but now it's basically going into like create 2G project, name it Sharty Bird, set target build to Android or iOS. So it's basically going like a more detailed, a more detailed description. But I think you need to basically spoon feed it exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah. He's logged me out. I have far too many accounts, I tell you. I had an argument in work. We have to request our permissions on a weekly basis. And those permissions, it's only supposed to be a few permissions. But because of how integrated my team is into everything, I'm now up to 48 permissions a week.
Jesus.
It's ridiculous.